Hello Year 6 and welcome to Thursday the 7th of May's maths video. This is the last video of this week due to it being the bank holiday tomorrow. Right then, let's have a look at our answers from yesterday's challenge questions. So I challenged you to see if you could think of 10 different solutions to this question here. And I've got just one of the possibilities that you could have included. Hopefully, some of the things that you'd have realised as you were doing these questions is if you need an answer between 5 and 7, it would be a bit illogical to have put 7 there and a 6 there, because you would know that 7 times 6 is 42. So that's going to be much bigger than the 7, which is the highest number that you can have. So hopefully that's little things that you remembered as you were having a go at doing this question. And then if we look at this one here, this is one solution to get from the 6 to the 0.06. If you did come up with another solution, then please let me know. I had a quick look and I could only find the one solution, so I'll be very interested to hear if you managed to find another one. Okay, let's have a look at what we're looking at today. So we're continuing with multiplying decimals, introducing another method that you could use and refreshing the methods from yesterday. So we've got 3 times 0.6. Now, the first method from yesterday that we're looking at is the repeated addition. 0.6 and 0.6 and 0.6 is the same as saying 3 times 0.6. What would that be? Well, that would be 1.8. So that's one method. Let's have a look at this method. This is a new method. This is the worded method. It's where you take what our calculation is and we put it into the words. So 3 times 6 tenths, what would that be? Well, that would be 18 tenths. How would I write 18 tenths as a decimal? Well, that's 1.8. So that's a new method. That's something that we didn't do yesterday. Then let's have a look at this one here. We did look at this yesterday. What have I done to my decimal to make it easier to answer? Well, I've turned my decimal into a whole number. How have I done that? I multiplied by 10. Let's make that little note there. 3 times 6 is 18. If I've multiplied by 10 here, what have I then got to do to my answer? Well, then I've got to divide it by 10. And my answer is 1.8. So you can pause the video, have a go at this one now. So if we have a look, we could do repeated addition. I could write out 0.37 times. I could do that way. I could do the worded method. So I could say 7 times 3 tenths. What will that give me? Well, that'll give me 21 tenths. How would I write that as a decimal? Well, 21 tenths is equivalent to 2.1. And I also could turn my decimal into a whole number. So 7 times 3. How did I turn my 0.3 into 3? I multiplied it by 10. 7 times 3 is 21. If I made my 0.3 10 times bigger here, that doesn't look like a 10. I then need to make my 21, my answer, 10 times smaller. So the answer is 2.1. Now let's have a look at the next slide. Right, these questions here are a little bit more tricky. Why are these questions trickier? Well, we've got another decimal place. We've got 2 decimal places this time, but the methods that we use are still the same. We've got repeated addition. We could use the worded method. So let's have a look at this one. 3 times 2 hundredths. That would give me 6 hundredths. What would that be as a decimal? Well, that would be 0. That's my tenths column. Put a 0. That's my hundredths column here. So then it would be there. 0.06. And then we've also got this method where we turn our decimal into a whole number. This time, what have I done to my 0.02 to convert it into 2? Well, I've multiplied it by 100. So let's make that note there. 3 times 2 is 6. Now what have I got to do? Well, I've got to then divide that by 100. So my answer will be 0.06. All right, with those methods now, I'd like you to have a go at this one. Okay, let's have a look. Now I'm going to use the method of turning it into a whole number. 6 times 9. What did I do? Let's make a note. I times it by 100. 6 times 9 is 54. Now what have I got to do to my 54? Well, I've got to then divide that by 100. And again, you can use the place value chart. If that helps you do this, you can move the numbers along in the place value chart. You can think of the decimal point. If you've got 54, it's going to become 100 times smaller. Think of the decimal place moving 2 spaces. That's 0.54. So now we've got the answer to both of those. In your My Maths task today, you're also going to be coming across some worded problems. Let's have a look at this one. Simon does some shopping on the internet. He buys 3 CDs at £6.31 each. How much do the CDs cost altogether? If you know what to do, pause the video, have a go. Otherwise, we will go through it. So for this question, you can choose whichever method you feel most confident with. You know that it's going to be a multiplication because he's got 3 CDs at £6.31. So that's £6.31, add £6.31, add £6.31, which is the same as multiplying it by 3. There's a few things that we can do here to work this out. You could write it in column multiplication and remember to leave the decimal point. That's something that you could do. So we could, if I show it this way, you could do this. I'm going to show it using a method that we used yesterday though, which is partitioning. So I've got £6.31 and I'm multiplying that by 3. Let's look at my pounds first. Let's do 6 times 3. Well, 6 times 3 is 18. Now let's look at my pence. I've got 31 times 3. Let's see if I can do that in my head. Well, I know that 30 times 3 is 90. I know that 1 times 3 is 3. 90, add 3 is 93. Now, because I didn't cross 100 pence there, that is still my decimal. I don't have to move any of that over into the pounds. So I have £18 and 93 pence is what it costs me to buy the CDs. Right then, I hope that made it a bit more clear on how to multiply decimals. Let's have a look at our challenge questions. We've got one question today. Again, it's quite a more open-ended question. It might take you a little bit of a while to work out what is the largest product and what is the smallest product you will get from using any 3 of these digit cards. Now, a product is the answer when 2 numbers are multiplied. So this is what you want. You want to use these number cards to find the smallest answer possible and the largest answer possible. Okay, thank you for listening, Year 6. I hope you found it useful and have a lovely bank holiday weekend. Thank you. Bye.